I'm Matthew Gutierrez from the Daily Orange.
I'm Jonathan LeBlanc. I'm also with the Daily Orange.
My name is Casey Harrison with the State News.
And we're here to chat Syracuse, Michigan State tomorrow at 2:40 p.m. aired nationally on CBS. Number 11 seed Syracuse versus number 3 seed Michigan State. Certainly the Spartans are favored, but let's chat a little bit about what we can expect. Tamara, do you want to?
I guess my first question for Casey, we can talk about, because obviously both these teams played on Friday. Both teams won. That Bucknell game was a little bit interesting. Bucknell kept it close in the first half before Michigan State pulled away. What did you see in that game, Casey?
Yeah, it was really it was a close game in the first half. Josh Langford really kind of carried the Spartans there. He had 15 of his 22 in the first half, and that was kind of the message at halftime that everything that all the noise around this program and the high expectations they kept saying to themselves, this can't be our last game, this can't be our last game. And so you really kind of saw Miles Bridges take the game into his own hands, which is what Michigan State fans have wanted for, if not the whole season, his entire tenure.
Maybe 2 years, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're a Michigan State fan, it's nice to see that. And, against Syracuse, I think that's what Michigan State fans are looking forward to.
Yeah, absolutely. And then obviously, Matthew, you wrote the story about this yesterday. If Syracuse is good at anything, it's defense. So what did you see from yesterday's win over TCU?
Yeah, huge defensive performance for Syracuse, holding just TCU a high-powered offense. It was 52 points. I think the takeaway there was they really had gridlock in the inside, which Michigan State's going to try to exploit tomorrow. But Syracuse also did a really good job on the perimeter. O'Shea Brissett, freshman forward, so that was really part of the main focus in locking down on perimeter shooters. Obviously, Michigan State can really shoot it effectively from the outside. Really struggled, I think, 40%, Casey. So they're going to have to replicate that performance certainly in less 24 hours from now.
Yeah. Michigan State definitely is a team that can shoot from the outside, but at the same time, they really try to emphasize driving to the paint, crashing the boards, getting as many rebounds as possible. So that's what I see out of this game. I guess offensively for Syracuse, who are some players to watch? And I've seen a trend that this isn't the most high-powered offense. How can they kind of get the ball rolling against Michigan State?
It's a great question. I'm sure Coach Boeheim is still trying to figure the answer to that question out here in March, months into the season. There is no easy answer to that. I think I'd love to hear Tamara's thoughts, but they have a big three that's done the bulk of the scoring load this season, and yesterday Tyus Battle and Frank Howard, two of the leaders on the offense, only scored 14 points combined. They still won the game, which is a credit to the defense, but they're going to need to get a bigger performance out of the big three, and then maybe a role player or two, which Tamara can touch on.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the incredible thing out of yesterday was, Matthew mentioned Frank Howard, Tyus Battle, double leaders. They didn't shoot a single free throw yesterday, and they somehow found a way to win, which you're normally not going to win those games. That's not a recipe for success. One of the most alarming, not alarming, I guess, kind of just, it was an honest answer, was, Syracuse for the first 10 minutes of yesterday's game against TCU was moving the ball. If they didn't have a look, they were passing right away. The Orange's problem on offense this year has been going one-on-one, getting into stagnant sets, and not doing much else. In the first 10 minutes, they were crisply moving the ball around, and then they just stopped. And I asked Tyus Battle, who's the team's leading scorer, I asked him about it after the game. I said, why do you guys stop doing that? Was it something TCU did? He said, no, it's just like a mental error, and we just forgot to move the ball. Syracuse's offense can play well when it moves the ball, as most offenses do. The problem is that the Orange's offense is prone to not doing that. So you're going to look for those big three. You're going to look for Battle, Howard, and Brissett. But you might be seeing a lot of iso ball, a lot of one-on-one. Now the thing is, those three guys are hard to guard one-on-one, especially Battle, especially Brissett. Brissett, over the last few games, has been Syracuse's leader offensively. He's 6'7", 6'8". He's a big wing, but he can also shoot, so it's hard to stop him one-on-one. But obviously Michigan State has a lockdown defense, so they should be able to at least try and do it better than ASU and TCU were. Casey, I've got a question for you. This Michigan State team is high profile. It was in the national rankings for, I think, all of the season or much of the season. It's got Bridges and Langford, some of these guys who you said, they're big names in college basketball. Bridges was almost in the NBA last year. Who's an under the radar guy we might not know about that Syracuse fans should look out for? Sunday.
I guess it's hard to say with the starting five because all of them were Big Ten honorees in some way or another.
Yeah.
I would say in the starting lineup, I would look for Nick Ward to have a good game because unless Syracuse is able to effectively double team I mean, coaches have said all year that he is maybe one of the best rim runners in college basketball. He's good offensively, he's good defensively, and he's really good at driving the lane and getting inside points. I would say off the bench though, you want to look for either Matt McQuaid or Kenny Goins. Kenny Goins has kind of turned into a dynamic 3-4 guy that they're going to off the bench. Doesn't really score that much.
I like you all, but
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that was Isaac Haas walking past us right now.
No worries.
Isaac Haas, pretty good.
Yeah, looks like he's in good shape. But Nick Ward, he's able to score in bunches, especially if teams aren't double teaming him. And Kenny Goins, isn't able to score really in bunches. Kind of has a 3-point shot, developing a little bit. And then Matt McQuaid is really kind of the go-to bench.
Yeah.
The go-to guard off the bench. He's able to really be effective on the catch and shoot. And most of his points come from the outside, but he does have a little bit of a pull-up 2 range, kind of like Josh Langford does. Those would be guys that I would look forward to, and usually they can give anywhere between 8 and 12 points a game.
Absolutely. All right, so I think if we want to just go down the line, Matt, if you want to start, maybe we have some game predictions for tomorrow night.
Yeah, sure. I'm going to pick Syracuse for a number of reasons, but that defense I think was just unbelievable last night. TCU is a very good offensive team. A lot of players have said that. I think they were a little underrated offensively, if anything. And while Michigan State's one of the better teams Syracuse will play, they beat UNC by double digits back in November. I'm taking Syracuse because that defense is just phenomenal.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty defensive trench battle in the first half. Both of these teams have some of the best defenses in college basketball. But Michigan State is a second-half team, and I like MSU's chances here, especially in Detroit, in front of a mostly home crowd. I'm going to take Michigan State 65, Syracuse 69. Or, I'm sorry, 75-69.
Yes. I'm going to preempt my pick by saying that my pick doesn't matter because college basketball is weird. I wrote this outline. Virginia lost yesterday. Syracuse has won 2 games. It was the last team in. So I don't know what's going to happen. I'm being honest with everyone. I'm going to go Michigan State too slightly. I agree with Matthew's point that the defense, Syracuse's defense has been unreal the last 2 games. It's held 2 teams to less than 60 points. When you do that, you're going to win. Arizona State's a good offensive team. TCU's a good offensive team. Neither one of those teams is Michigan State. I think Michigan State's in a tier above the opponents that Syracuse has played so far in the tournament. They're closer in that tier with North Carolina, Duke, and Virginia, who Syracuse lost to this season. And I think that kind of level is where Syracuse can compete with, but not get over the hump. We haven't seen it happen yet this year. Syracuse hasn't beaten one of those top tier teams this year, and I think Michigan State continues the trend. That's been our pregame preview. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the game tomorrow.